If you want to knock off the titles from A Wrinkle in Time, the first thing you need is text. Write your copy in all caps and lay it down with the basic title tool. I'm using a Google font called Open Sans, which feels pretty close to what they used in the trailer. If you want to be cheeky and drop individual letters, highlight them and change the baseline. Once you've laid down your text, duplicate the clip and stack the two versions by holding down Option and dragging. Modify the top layer with the transform tools. You can make it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit offset. You're free to do whatever you want here. Just keep it simple. I wouldn't recommend any changes to the font or the overall layout of the text. When you're done, go to the effects browser and search for mask. We want the draw mask. Drag it onto the top text clip and your viewer should say click to add a control point. If it doesn't, check the lower left corner to make sure you don't have some other tool turned on. In the draw mask, we're going to freehand a couple different chunkies. Do whatever you want to do here. In the trailer, they're pulling out like 2 or 3 chunkies from each title. But, you know, you're your own person. I believe in you. Next, we're going to add a subtle animation to the mask. Inside the draw mask options, drop down the transforms field and add a couple keyframes. Here, I'm moving it from left to right over the course of the clip. Hover over the clip when you're done to make sure everything works. Now, copy that text layer and use the Paste Attributes function to paste your customized draw mask to the other layer. Make sure the only attribute that you paste is the draw mask and not any of the other motion. With the mask applied to both text clips, stuff is going to disappear. Toggle Invert Mask and the missing chunks will reappear with your fancy little Wrinkle in Time offset. Highlight the 2 clips, right-click, and make a compound clip. This is going to act as a stencil for the text colors and texture. To emulate the look of the trailer with generators in Final Cut, we're going to grab the Nova, drop it under the compound clip, and modify the colors until you get a coldish burst. On top of that clip, I'm adding the Glimmer generator. Here we're changing the colors and removing the background so the Nova's colors can peek through. We're also making the particles bigger, we're moving them around. None of this really matters because we're not going to see all of that. Click on the compound clip on top, go to Compositing in the Video Inspector, and set that to Stencil Alpha. The text will act as a window to whatever you put underneath it. To match the trailer, add a little grow to the compound clip by keyframing the scale attribute. Keep it subtle for things like this, maybe 3 or 4% if you're only showing a couple seconds. If you're seeing problems with the color or the texture, you can modify those lower clips without messing anything up. Just push things around and play with settings until your text looks good. And that, my friends, is how you rip off the titles from A Wrinkle in Time using only tools available inside Final Cut 10. Let me know if this helped or if there's anything you'd like to learn next.